Scat cat. Good morning, guys. Welcome to SJU. It's Wednesday. It's National Walkout Day. Respect.
Kids, if you're watching this at school, just leave.
Just leave.
Just walk out. There's no such thing as your permanent record.
We're with you.
Trying to scare you.
That is true.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. There is no principal in the Breakfast Club with files.
No.
And a kindly janitor trying to defend those files.
No one post-college will look at your GPA or your major.
No.
These are, but just leave. Yeah, worry about that later. For now, just walk out.
Get out.
This is the only permanent record. What we're doing right now, which means we're all
The
in
internet's
trouble.
forever.
Yeah. The internet's forever.
School
Be
not.
smarter than us. You already are.
Yeah. Guys, a trained teacher with a gun in California accidentally discharged his gun in a classroom and hurt a kid today.
That's how you check if it's loaded or not, though, right?
Yeah.
You just pull the trigger.
Anyways, guys, it's SJU. Let's talk about the movies and keep the politics in our brains where they belong. Before we get started today, guys, yesterday we broke a piñata for what we thought was no reason. It turns out there was a reason, which I now have to course correct on. By the way, I'm hosting today. Roth Cornett is in Berlin. Roth's a very busy person, and yesterday she had a trip to Berlin and a million other things on her brain, so she forgot that the reason we were breaking a random zombie piñata that was brought to her office was to promote the release of Fear the Walking Dead Season 3 on Blu-ray. You should go watch it. Dustin Rolls of Pajiba and Uprocks, who I enjoy quite a bit, says it's shocking, heartbreaking, and completely unexpected. Woo!
Oh.
On the back, someone says it's absolutely shocking. So
that one's just from Comic Book.
okay, so if you're looking for a shock, Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I have heard, I will be candid and say the first season of this I was like, but I actually have heard that it gets
They're doing
wildly
crossovers
good and weird
with The Walking
and,
Dead.
Yeah.
They're in LA. Like, what are those zombies like?
Yeah, now they're in Mexico.
Like
What's
more
that like?
narcissistic. Oh, they're Mexico now?
Yeah, now they're in Mexico.
Probably pretty chill.
Yeah, probably everybody's probably, all the zombie Mexicans are pretty chill.
Here's
pretty
the thing
chill
people don't know about Roth in Berlin. By day, movie analyst. By night, international assassin.
Oh, I was going to say minimal German techno DJ.
Both of these things.
It's just
correct.
Roth in all caps with a lot of spaces between the letters.
Roth. She believes in nothing. Guys, you know who did believe in some things?
Pat Sajak over here.
Wow, look at that segue.
We're starting with sometimes I don't know how to talk about serious things on our dumb movie morning show, but we're going to talk about Stephen Hawking a little bit, who passed away yesterday, which sucks. He was the smartest person in the world. I'm woefully ill-equipped to be the person talking about Stephen Hawking.
Read the bullet points, Jim.
Died peacefully in his home in Cambridge. Thank you, Spencer. In the early hours of Wednesday. Don't riff on Hawking. His family said he was 76. At the age of 22, this is ridiculous. He was given 2 years to live at the age of 22. That was in, I think 68, which is insane. He had a rare form of motor neuron disease. The illness left him in a wheelchair. It left him unable to speak, except through a voice synthesizer. So 22, given 2 years to live, turns out to become famous for his work on black holes and relativity. He wrote A Brief History of Time, which is an amazing book, which honestly you should read. You may not understand it, but you'll still like it. I didn't understand a word I read in that book, but the entire time I was like, I'm glad I'm reading this, and I feel smart, even though I don't know that I took anything like...
It's like a limitless placebo.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh yeah, I'm smart for 5 seconds.
Yeah. Hey,
I think I feel it.
this. Yeah.
I've had 3 of these faux margaritas. I'm
Not about limitless.
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 limitless. Turns out it wasn't. Anyway.
A film about his life, Theory of Everything, was nominated for Best Picture. Eddie Redmayne received an Academy Award for his portrayal of Hawking. And because it's ScreenJunkies, we gotta make sure we get into his cameos in pop culture, including The Simpsons, which you sort of like, and Star Trek: The Next Generation, which I believe you're a fan of.
Yes, and I remember this episode. It was a great episode. He was playing poker with Data, Sir Isaac Newton, and Einstein. Data programmed a simulation. Stephen Hawking showed up because why not?
Yeah.
Because he's Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, he can do what he wants.
And he won, by the way.
Stephen Hawking.
He bested the 2 other smartest people in history
And
Data, the android. So.
Oh yeah, he's killing them. He's killing them.
Yeah, crushed it.
I always love holodeck sets because I just feel like they were like, you know what, low budget this week. They're in some guy's little man cave den with a card table.
Yeah. It was just a bedroom set.
Yeah, they could motivate any set. I love when they'd be like, "Oh man, some summer stock theater play came through here, and we got to use this Shakespeare set. Come on, Picard, say some stuff. You're Othello now. Let's go."
Listen to Vivaldi and do some Hamlet, please. Thank you.
Well, I mean, one thing I wanted to say about Stephen Hawking, I mean, we celebrate so many people in fiction that have this triumph of will, like, oh, this rich kid whose parents got shot, he trained himself to be a ninja. That's so awesome. I'm going to emulate that, or all these different people. It's like Hal Jordan doesn't have nothing on Stephen Hawking when it comes to a triumph of will. You know what I mean? Like you're literally, your body's failing you. You only have a couple years to live, you think. So you dedicate yourself to something totally obscure and weird, and you challenge everybody that came before you. And he was born, like, I think 300 years to the day after Galileo. I think he really felt like some sort of mental. You know what I mean? I think he really felt it. And then when he thought he was going to die soon, he just had to crank it out, baby. Crank out that screenplay, you losers. And you can. That's kind of what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
I think that's the lesson from Stephen Hawking is finish that spec script.
Hey, just get it over with so you can get on with your life. But honestly, like, just the will to say, even though my body's failing me, even though, like, I mean, a lot of people can't get their voice heard right now, and they're fully ambulatory. And they're walking around with all this charisma, and they still can't get their voice heard. He's curled up, and he's telling people what to do and he dedicated himself to using like visual diagrams and stuff since he couldn't talk. He went to relate his ideas. He started using like visual stuff. He just find a way. You know what I mean? That's his story. Find a way. It's really amazing.
And the guy was brilliant. I mean, they said that, I remember in doing research for Star Trek, because that's what I do, they were saying that, they did that shot on the show, and then, they basically told the crew that, hey, we need to set up a room for Stephen Hawking in between takes or when he's not on camera. Like, we just need just a room. They're like, do you need anything? It's like, no, just a room, just somewhere closed off. And it was basically that, like, when he wasn't on camera, he just needed somewhere quiet, and he would just go in there and just think.
Yeah.
And then he'd go do his thing, and then he'd go back in the room and just do what. It's amazing.
I got to think about quasars just kind of bouncing around.
He didn't want to waste a second of time that he could be thinking about. And I mean, if you were talking about the ripple effect, a lot of people are like, why are you talking about Stephen Hawking on ScreenJunkies? But in the world of science is such one of the most brilliant men that ever lived. But when you do the ripple effect, I mean, if you like science fiction, Interstellar, that movie exists because of the ripple effect of Stephen Hawking's research, which inspired other scientists, which inspired other people. So it's like, it's not just in the world of science. If you like science fiction, then Stephen Hawking is responsible for so much of what we see. It just kind of goes to show, like, when one man's impact, one person's impact in this world, you may think it's confined to a certain field, but it grows out of that.
Yeah, he was the guy who popularized the idea of the multiverse. So any episode where, like, Superman's got a mustache, what? You have him to thank.
Yeah. And I would say if sci-fi is something you're interested in creating in, whether it's writing or doing whatever, A Brief History of Time is something you can always go back to, and I think find something new, like, to sort of play with and expand on and be like, well, what if I messed with this for, my idea? If you're looking for, your new original sci-fi idea that isn't necessarily about knights with laser swords, like, that's a book you can delve into and really get inspired.
Tell me more about these knights with laser swords.
So guys,
I'm working on this thing. It's called the Journal of the Willis.
It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. There are robots that I'm calling droids.
I've got a name for it. Space Force.
Space Force!
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, man. Space Force is going to be big, you guys. Real big. One thing I'll say before we move on from him is he was also just wickedly, like, really funny. There are so many stories where people talk about Stephen Hawking just like it takes them like 20 minutes to like slowly realize Stephen Hawking has been like screwing with them like for an entire conversation. There are great stories where like someone will ask him a very, very like serious question and he'll just be typing for like 5 minutes on the box and they're like, oh my God, what's Stephen Hawking about to tell me? And it's just like a weird blank and blank walk into a bar joke or something or just like some weird punchline. Funny guy, brilliant guy, and also a really solid fan of things. So in that, we salute you, sir.
Yes. Hey, Joe.
Yep.
What's the opposite of this story?
Hey, guys. Speaking of things that the theory of everything predicted, the twin universe, the twin sequel, Triplets, is apparently back on track.
More segues than Paul Blart.
Oh boy!
Nice.
Oh, there it is. I already know what the poster's going to look like for the third one.
Oh yeah!
Arnold swooped into South by Southwest, which is a sentence I love. I don't know what that means exactly. Like he was on one of those little flight suits that Michael Bay loves. The little I jump out of
swooped in.
Yeah.
Like,
I like those squirrel suits.
Yeah.
They got that flying squirrel.
Felix, what's his name, and Jump from Space.
Yeah, that's what Arnold did to South by Southwest, and all these little indie nerds are like, oh God.
I halo jumped.
But this is what I feel is the news that South by Southwest was really looking for, is that the script by Ryan Dixon and Josh Gad is done.
Okay.
Not only that, but Eddie Murphy is definitely going to play the third triplet, whom their mother, played by Bonnie Bartlett, did not mention giving birth to in the original.
Awkward.
Oh boy. As for the plot device that will bring them all together, Schwarzenegger just teased that there's funny thing that happens in the mixing of the sperm, which
That's the working title, actually.
That's also my favorite Neil Simon play. A funny thing happened in the mixing of the sperm. I feel like when Arnold sat Josh Gad down to like pitch him writing it, Josh Gad was like, I just don't see how this could be done, and that's how Schwarzenegger just like explained it. Just
yeah,
like
a funny thing happened with the mixing of the sperm.
Just figure it out. So guys,
I've been hearing a lot of people saying the word cock. I feel we should make a movie, perhaps.
Guys, why is this movie?
Why this movie?
Ed, justify this.
No, you can't. No. I am no Atticus Finch. I can't get us out of this one.
It's a 90s comedy Expendables. They're like rounding up the gang one more time.
Is this going to cross over with 3 Men and a Baby? Are you saying?
Well, now it'll be 4 men and a DeVito.
4 men. Are they raising the triplets?
Oh, yeah.
That's crossing a bunch of streams. I think you're gonna rend the universe asunder.
Yeah. Speaking of multiverse,
Yeah.
that's the singularity that Stephen Hawking tried to pinpoint for his whole life.
It's
3
just
men and a baby and triplets.
Dude, Stephen Hawking's typing for like an hour and a half, and it's the script to this, and he's like, ha!
That's the only way I would see this movie. If Stephen Hawking wrote the script to it, then yes.
Yeah. No.
Now, if this is backdooring a Junior sequel where Arnold Schwarzenegger gives birth to Eddie Murphy,
maybe that's the twist. Maybe they're like kind of screwing with us, and they're like, yeah, Eddie Murphy's the triplet, but he's not. He's the baby.
Right.
Inside Arnold.
But hasn't Arnold been saying for like 25 years that this movie was ready to go?
He's really been promising
like done.
Yeah.
We're doing it. It's ready to go. It's on track. Like I feel like he said this like every year for the last 20 years.
I don't
think
know,
this
man.
movie's actually gonna happen.
Well, I mean, as far as that goes, I think a lot of these, these passion projects. You know what I mean?
Yep.
A lot of these passion projects take time, and sometimes you have to cycle out writers to get hotter guys, and they're like hot guys like Josh Gad.
Yeah. So hot right now.
Right, so hot, blistering. So it's like you got to get Josh Gad to come write it or whatever. So I think he had a few drafts of it, and they may have been thrown to the wayside because they weren't quite good enough.
They weren't quite up to the triplet standards.
Yeah.
What is it about twins that Arnold desperately wants us to move forward? Like, of all the funny movies he did, why twins?
well, okay, of all the funny movies he did,
Of
Kindergarten
all
Cop.
of the 4 funny movies that Arnold did, Kindergarten Cop,
Conan the
Twins,
Destroyer.
the one that he made with Abigail Breslin about demons.
True Lies has its funny moments.
Have you ever heard Arnold like in a commentary?
Yes.
And how he just
it's
describes
hilarious.
things.
Those are my favorite
I
comedies.
feel like Twins is his favorite because it's the simplest. And he's like, "You're not going to believe this movie. Okay, I'm very tall, and there's a man next to me who's very short. It's amazing." It's just the easiest to describe. It's like, "Oh, we're going to do a sequel to the one where I'm tall and the guy is short."
But one of them is going to be of a different race than us.
But yeah, it's like,
And of a middling height.
I just feel like he loves this movie because it's just like, remember the part where I was standing next to DeVito and he was very short and then I was tall. Yeah, Arnold, I remember.
still got it.
And the directors on the commentary, yeah, it was really hard to frame that up because you were so tall and he was so short. So
You can barely see his head.
I
know,
we
Arnold,
had
that's-
hell with the boom mics. We couldn't get him in
He is like a
position.
doll to me.
Yes, he kept trying to stick his hand in Danny DeVito's pants. It was really it was an HR issue for most of the movie.
You are a marionette now.
Danny threatened to walk off several times. It was pretty awful for
It
him.
was pretty terrible. Working
it
experience.
Yeah,
bad.
him and John Milius on the Conan the Barbarian commentary. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it right now. Go get it.
Now
Do
there
it.
is a man with a sword and he is running at
Yeah,
me.
if you thought what was missing from Conan was the actor describing what was happening on the screen, do we have the commentary for you?
Total Recall also. He just repeats the movie like, "Consider that a divorce. That is the line that she says when I kill her." I know.
I pushed this guy. Yeah, there you go.
I know, Arnold. I just saw that. Thank
Look,
you.
he uses him as a shield while he's going up the escalator.
Guys, who's your dream director for Triplets?
Oh, wow.
John Cassavetes. No,
Oh wow.
Paul Thomas Anderson. Final answer.
Solid. Yeah.
Yeah, PTA. He should make a comedy.
That's hard to beat. P.T. Anderson.
Dude, I think he put a weird, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
some of those triple shots of like they're eating like a sausage, eggs, toast. That's breakfast. You know what I mean? Like I love PTA. He's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
I'm into him doing triplets too. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, we did it.
We fixed it.
We did it. Okay. Speaking of things that are going to fill a hole that you have in your life, AMC is doing a 31-hour Marvel movie.
Another segue.
marathon,
Why are you
guys.
getting them? You're racking them up.
Just killing it.
He doesn't need the confidence boost, JT. He's doing good.
I'm fine. Yeah, actually, don't give me any confidence boost because then I don't shut up about it. Like, for the rest of the day, I'm gonna be like, Spencer, remember when that said killed?
Show's over, Jeff.
Oh boy, guys, this was requested by a viewer, Francisco. AMC Theaters website is teasing a super movie marathon to get Marvel fans ready for the release of the third Avengers movie, Infinity. God, that's a lot of Marvel stuff.
That's an actual
happening
shot
on
from
one
the
screen.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
it is, I think. Yeah.
Star-Lord is a giant.
And there's gonna be a weird trippy sequence when everyone's just hand drawn.
Yeah. And they're all yelling quips at the same time.
It's
Just a
gonna-
wall of quips.
Just
Just a wall of clips.
That's how they defeat Thanos. Everyone joins hands and quips at once. It's going to be great. The marathon is slated to last 31 hours and lead into the premiere of the new film, covering all 19 films.
That's 21 hours and 10 hours of commercials.
Oh, God. While admission price and times aren't up yet, the site says the marathon will start April 25th, which syncs up well with the
Oh, this is
April
theater.
20
Sorry, I
This
thought
is
this
theaters.
was AMC.
No, this is the theaters.
The channel.
You
No,
have to
man,
sit,
this is
you have to
for
sit in
real.
a theater.
This is for real. Guys, would you do this?
No.
No.
Would 20-year-old you do this?
No.
I'd dip in. But like, yeah, like I'd go in the morning, leave, come back at night, maybe. Pick
Well-
my spots.
What would it take, Ed, for you to do this? Would it take celebrities?
You know, I
Would it
think
take a mall massage chair that you lay in?
no. I mean, I think if the zombies were outside and we'd all barricaded ourselves in, I think this would be the best way
Might
to
as
get
well.
our minds off of everything.
Yeah.
You know, let's go into this super universe and
Watch Ant-Man.
while the creeps bang on the doors and moan. And I could do that for 30 hours under those circumstances. Other than that, I don't know, man. That sounds like a real Midwest lock-in.
Yeah. Yeah, we had those. Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This sounds like a real volleyball lock-in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's the thing is like, to people, I get that people are like, I'm a huge fan, so I want to do this. But keep in mind that, like, I don't care how much you love Marvel movies.
Which we do. We're very well paid by them to love them.
Yeah, Marvel shills, right?
Exactly, yeah. I don't care how much you love Marvel movies. I feel like you have to acknowledge as a human being that there are limits to the human endurance.
Yeah.
And to the Marvel fan that perhaps would be interested in doing this, I would say that, like, you don't want to roll into Infinity War at just a physical
bottom.
You bottomed out. You were the tiredest you've ever been. You were going to be the most impatient.
Your loved ones have all left you in the interim.
It's going to be, and this is not a slam on the audience. This is a biological fact. This is a biological imperative. That theater's not going to smell good. That is just biology at work. This seems like the least optimal condition to see Infinity War. I would say you've seen the movies 2 to 8 times probably already, and take the week, enjoy them at home.
Yep.
You know, buy your tickets, because this seems like the least conductive environment to see this movie.
Oh,
well, yeah. What if I told you that at the end, if you watch all 31 hours, you get a Terrence Howard as Rhodes Funko Pop from Iron Man 1. Does that sweeten the deal? Limited edition. They're all Don Cheadle now. It's only the Terrence Howard
How much are
one.
these things going to sell for? And how much were the tickets to this thing? Because this is just a money-making proposition.
Come on, man.
Let me ask you
Buy
guys.
these Funko Pops, man.
Let me ask you guys, what
I
film?
want to watch Iron Man with Terrence Howard.
What film do people stop cheering for Stan Lee cameos? Like, at what point does that sheen wear off?
Don't put any bad juju on Stan Lee
Oh,
right
not
now.
to put bad juju, but you know, there's gonna be, they're gonna
Pray
have
for Stan Lee.
Everyone's gonna have the big group think like, "Hooray! This is gonna be so exciting." At what point does everyone stop going at everything?
I think on the third holographic Stan Lee cameo, I think people will get sick of it. Stan Lee is so great.
Oh, not in future movies. I'm talking sitting in this
During
theater for 31 hours.
Oh, yeah.
At what point does the group stop getting excited because Stan Lee popped out?
Never.
Yeah,
if you're there, never.
Yeah.
Really?
It's like
if you're there
28
doing
hours
that
in,
shit,
you're still gonna be
The
like,
one thing that wakes you up out of your reveries is like,
oh, there's definitely going to be some kind of punch buggy game in there. It's going to be the Purge, the theater project.
Here's the question. If you're at this thing, which ones do you sleep through?
Oh, that's solid.
Iron Man 2,
yeah.
except for that part with the... Is that the one where he saves everybody in that big electromagnetic ring? Like he saves them out of the sky. And he makes
you wake up for the end of Iron Man.
Yeah, that's hot. That's some hot shit.
That's a great action. Him and War Machine.
Yeah.
With the guns and the laser thing.
the first 2 Thors. Take a strong Thor nap.
Okay.
Really?
Oh,
Thor
That's
1 and 2.
early though. I mean, you're sleeping through like movie 3.
You could watch Thor, Thor for like the first 5 minutes when he beats up the big giant troll thing, and then take a big fat nap.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sleep during Doctor Strange. That's gonna be a nap for me.
But that's when like the line between like awake and consciousness and like sleep has dissolved. So like you might get a real
true. So that's
the DMT in your brain will all release.
Plus that harpsichord
That's when I see
music
the
is
truth with
very-
a capital T.
That harpsichord music is very high pitched. I don't know if you're
may
gonna
not
get some
sleep.
quality of dang dang dang. I don't know if you're gonna get a whole lot of quality sleep.
Sleep through all of Ultron. I think Ultron's a good
Ultron's
Yeah.
a good one.
The dreams that you would have, like I see some kid and some dude, he's like 45, he's got a karate gi on, it's on hour 15. He's dreaming of like what Infinity War is going to be, and like Thanos is beating the crap out of everybody, and then out of nowhere Iron Fist comes and punches him in the jaw, knocks him out. He's like, yeah, man. He wakes up into this regular world like, damn it. Damn it.
Still Finn Jones.
Still Finn Jones. So I think we can all agree that at least a few of these packed screenings are going to devolve into some kind of Lord of the Flies-esque tribal warfare.
Oh, definitely.
What kind of advice would you give to the Marvel fan that wants to come out of that on top? Like
cardio.
Yeah,
I think
gotta be the fastest runner.
You'll outlast.
And you got
that
those
gang.
steps too. Yeah.
Just do wind sprints up and down the theater steps. You'll be fine.
I'd say anybody dressed as Doctor Doom, you could probably beat up.
Oh, yeah.
Just like write them off right off the way. Anybody dressed as Doctor Doom, you
Low
could probably
visibility.
beat up. Yeah. You know.
Get that fucked shit out of here. Get off our plane.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. This just seems like the least optimal environment for me.
Yes.
I would much rather see Infinity War nice and fresh and napped, well slept.
Literally so fresh and so clean.
Having eaten something more nutritious than a movie theater hot dog in the past 32 hours.
Yeah. At that point, you're just living on Sour Patch Kids and your veins are screaming.
Yeah, exactly.
The twist is going to be when everyone sits down for Infinity War, finally, Triplets is going to premiere. Yes! And they're going to love it.
No, you're going to love it. He's short.
If Triplets is part of the MCU, I mean, that'd be an awesome twist.
That'd be actually that would be huge. That would be really cool. And Terrence Howard is somehow back in that as Rhodey.
Yeah, use the time and the Soul Gem to merge with Schwarzenegger. I mean, I'm in.
I like it.
And then Deadpool comes and chops their heads off.
And I think it works because according to Terrence Howard, math isn't real. So what's not possible?
That's a good
Oh,
point.
that's true.
That
I
is
forgot
good.
that
That's a
Terrence
good
Howard
interview.
has his
Yeah.
own system of
Don't forget
arithmetic.
to look up Terrence Howard's thoughts on math. They're very interesting. Guys, before we
So
get
when
to
I
our-
said walk out of school earlier in the show, walk back later.
Walk back later.
now that it's
Learn that
safe.
math is real and then walk out.
Yeah.
Guys, before we get to our last story, today we've got this week we've got a Tomb Raider review.
Tomb Raider review coming probably later today. I saw it last night.
Hot Tomb Raider review.
We will be
coming.
Look at that
talking
neck.
about.
Look at that velociraptor.
Its proportions are all wrong. No one has a nice. Her neck and the
Ready
leg
Player
from
One
Ready
leg.
Player One need to like. This is Fantastic Four.
Guys, you do some amazing Photoshop for us. Someone take the Ready Player One leg and turn it into Alicia Vikander's neck on the Tomb Raider poster.
And vice versa.
And tweet it to us.
Yeah,
Vice versa,
no,
yeah.
yeah, we're doing a Tomb Raider review later today, so you'll find out if this movie breaks the curse, as people have been saying, of the comic book movie.
You guys want
Sorry, the video game movie.
Yeah, you guys want to see two angry movie nerds try to physically kill each other?
Every week.
Tomorrow on Movie Fights, it's Lon Harris versus his blood rival, William Bibiani.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Mark Forster.
Mark Forster.
Lon hates Mark Forster.
Right.
Oh,
With a
wow.
passion.
Wow.
That would be a movie fight.
I would watch that. I would
For
watch
Quantum
that.
of Solace, he just hates that
He
opening
hates
sequence.
Everything
Mark
he does.
Forster's ever
I don't
done.
know why.
I can't explain it.
The blind fight round for this fight is going to be fight your opponent until they're physically blind. So I'm actually
Oh, wow. There you
really
go.
excited about Lon versus Bibiani. Bring your earplugs. And let's wrap on this question, guys. With Tomb Raider opening this weekend, again, catch Dan's review coming later today on SJ News. Jeff asks, is there a video game movie, or is there a video game you believe could actually become a successful movie?
We've run out. I thought it was Assassin's Creed, and I was dead wrong.
Dead
so
wrong.
I'm not making any more predictions.
I think the challenge is so many video games tell like a full and complete story that I don't see the point in making a movie. Like I don't see the point of a Final Fantasy movie because I played Final Fantasy 7 and I played Final Fantasy 9 and was like, those were satisfying stories to me.
And I
don't
watched
need-
Final Fantasy
Spirits
was it
Within.
Spirits Within, and I mean, it was boring.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Battlegrounds is already the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Can't. I'm gonna pull out XCOM. I like the XCOM games.
Yeah, I'd watch an
our own
XCOM
our
movie.
own John Bailey is the voice of the command. Hello, Commander.
Yeah.
It's a game where like the aliens pretty much win most of the time, which I don't see in movies a lot. And then the only way you win is by becoming more and more like the aliens themselves. Bro.
Yeah.
So I think you can take that as a general framework of like we defeat them, but we also did that by
Do they
becoming
make
them.
it? Do they make it an interactive film, just like when the video game you create soldiers and name them after your friends and family, and then watch them brutally murder?
No,
Is
it'll
it
be
an
the
interactive
first
movie where, like-
turn-based movie where like everybody moves and then stops, and then all the aliens move and then stop, and then they shoot at each
And
other.
then, and then you watch all your friends die. That we saw. I would do a very like dark. I would take the entire creative team from Nightcrawler, including Gyllenhaal, and do a very dark and twisted Dr. Mario movie, where this plumber is moonlighting as a doctor and giving people pills.
It's a me,
Right?
Dr. Mario.
Dr. Mario. I think it'd be great. I think it would win a lot of awards.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think you guys are right that a lot of the plots, it's like, I was thinking of like any of the movies, it's better for you to play it yourself. You know what I mean? Like, but I was thinking certain games are so simple that I think you could craft any sort of story around them. Like, you could make a Contra movie.
Ooh.
There's so
that would
much
be good.
space to actually create. You know, what are the aliens for? Why are they doing this? Why are these two dudes got the special guns? They keep getting more and more special guns and putting them together throughout the course of these adventures. Almost like, ho. Now I have a giant space gun. You know what I mean?
Now I have a spread gun.
Yeah. You're doing that to these aliens as these two guys who are just like rough and tumble, totally going to get shipped by a bunch of teenage girls, guys.
Oh, just drenched in baby oil.
Yeah,
Both
drenched
of
in
them.
baby
Just
oil.
Two headbands,
Yeah.
red and blue.
Gathering weapons through a giant diehard space jungle adventure.
Man.
Yeah.
There has to be a scene where they're like navigating a tunnel and they're like, okay, up,
Yeah.
down,
Left, right.
left, right.
Select, start. All right. I think we answered that question really well, you guys. I think we did a really good
Sold.
job. Hey, Spencer, what's going to be your favorite thing about today?
It already happened.
Hell
It's
yeah.
right here.
Thanks,
thing.
bud.
All of us.
Hey, everybody. Enjoy your Wednesdays. Parkland National Walkout Day. Do your thing. We're with you guys. And we'll see you tomorrow right here on SJU.